People argue calisthenics versus weights, like one has to replace the other. And honestly, I think the whole debate is missing the point. The whole calisthenics versus weightlifting debate is pointless. If we look at the best athletes, the strongest people, they generally do some form of both. I feel like that's all we need, right? If we look at the strongest people, the best athletes, the most functional, they usually do some form of both. So what are we arguing about here? I think people are like running out of content. I think people are just rage baiting, or I don't know what's going on, right? Like the calisthenics and weightlifting are tools. One is not better than the other. You know, both of them have their drawbacks and their benefits. You know what I mean? And to frame it as, oh, this is black and white, it just shows the lack of nuance in thinking, right? Like let's look at it for a second. Weightlifting is amazing, right? You know, it's great for progressive overload. It's great for adding weight so you can measure it very easily. So, you know, put on a 45. Okay, next week I'll add a 5 pound. Next week I'll add a 10 pound. You know, you have various machines, various equipment that can specialize, you know, say if you're injured or if you're trying to work on specific body parts, you know, weightlifting really shines there. Like, man, it can't be beat. But if we go to like calisthenics is great for bodily awareness. It's great for, you know, relative strength, you know, your size to your strength percentage. You know, you can do it anywhere. You don't need a membership. You don't need a fancy, any fancy equipment. You can just use your body weight, right? But it tends to be a little bit harder, say, sometimes for beginners to get into it. You know, it doesn't have as much equipment or as many things, say, as a gym has for beginners. But it is still beginner friendly. I would just say the gym may be a little more beginner friendly. But I would say calisthenics does lack a little bit in the leg department, right? The lower body department. And, you know, outside of, you know, pistol squats, air squats, you know, you're gonna have to do a lot of reps of those, or you're gonna have to add weight, you know, and then there's people arguing, well, it's just weighted calisthenics. And it's just like, bro, you're lifting weights then. Like, are we gonna argue semantics all day, or are we just gonna help people get active and work out, you know? But back to the point is that calisthenics, sometimes it's harder for people to develop their lower body, which is great, or which the gym is great for, you know? And I just wanted to make those small examples of, you know, the gym versus calisthenics and where some might shine and some might not and blah, blah, blah. Just so you can see that there really is, there is no war. There is no battle. I say do both, right? Now, some people think when you say, hey man, I think everybody should do calisthenics, they're thinking of planches, handstand push-ups, gymnastics maneuvers, and things like that. You know what I mean? And sometimes when people think of weightlifting, they're thinking of like Ronnie Coleman or Arnold Schwarzenegger, you know, lifting crazy amounts, being super massive, when really the truth is more people are within that middle range and will be doing a blend of those things. Arnold and Ronnie Coleman or any bodybuilders or strongmen lifting exorbitant, lifting crazy amounts of weights is the extreme. People doing planches and one-arm pull-ups and all those advanced calisthenics are on the extreme side of the spectrum. But people can do push-ups, people can do pull-ups, people can, you know, bench press with, you know, lighter weights, they can squat with lighter weights. But you see how it blends both of them without becoming tribalistic, but also still allowing people to get the benefits of the workouts of both.
Oh my God! Wow!
Lastly on the matter, it's like a lot of the way people work out is a matter of preference, right? Like, some people might not like certain weightlifting exercises. Some people might not like a squat, or at least with the barbell or with the machines. They might like bodyweight squats. They might like pistol squats. They might like, you know, And vice versa, somebody might not like those body weight calisthenics squats. They prefer machines. They prefer weighted versions. And guess what? That's okay. Like, that's a beautiful thing about working out, right? And your workout journey is you can do what you want, right? Because there is no perfect exercise. It's just consistency over time with the exercise that you do with good form. That you do. But I think that's enough of this rant. I just wanted to kind of just touch on the subject a little bit. The moral of the story is use the tool that helps you reach your goals. You know, if you find body weight maneuvers aren't beneficial for you, then fine, don't use them. If you find certain weightlifting maneuvers aren't good for you, fine, don't use them. And if you found one or a few exercises from both that work for you, use them. Feel me? Use the tool that works for you. Stop arguing over calisthenics and weights because it's stupid.